Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Study Area for Daily Current Affairs. Today I am covering 15th and 16th March current affairs. You all are kindly requested to subscribe, like, and share with your acquaintances. So, without further delay, let's start. India gives highest priority to safety of its weapon system. Rajnath Singh on accidental firing of missile. Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Tuesday, 15th March 2022, gave a statement on the accidental firing of a missile that landed in Pakistan and said that India gives the highest priority to the safety and security of its weapon system. Speaking in Rajya Sabha, Singh said that India's missile system is highly safe and secure, and the country's defense establishment accords the highest priority to safety procedures and protocols. Let's move on. After winning historic second term, Yogi government embarks on dream of $1 trillion economy by 2027. After securing a historic consecutive term in office, the Yogi Adityanath government has revived its earlier proposal to hire a private consultant to help his government achieve a $1 trillion economy in the state in next 5 years. On Tuesday, the Yogi government invited bids for this ambitious project, saying it wanted to boost its economy to the $1 trillion level by 2027. The bids will be opened next month. Yogi government's idea is to contribute big to Narendra Modi government's aim of making India a 5 trillion economy in the year to come. Let's move on. The Kashmir files now tax-free in Uttar Pradesh, announces Yogi Adityanath. Uttar Pradesh on Tuesday joined other BJP-ruled states in making the film The Kashmir Files tax-free. In Uttar Pradesh, the Kashmir Files film has been made tax-free. Yogi Adityanath, who last week won a second term as chief minister in the 2022 UP Assembly polls, tweeted, several other BJP-ruled states have made the Vivek Agnihotri directed movie tax-free, including Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Tripura, Goa, and Haryana. In Maharashtra, where the Shiv Sena Congress (NCP's) Maha Vikas Aghadi alliance is in power, the state unit of the Bharatiya Janata Party has demanded the Uddhav Thackeray government also waive tax on the movie. While BJP MLA Mangal Prabhat Lodha raised this issue in the Legislative Assembly on Monday, BJP MLA Nitesh Rane wrote to Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray. BJP MLA Ram Kadam said if the movie isn't made tax-free in the state, then all Hindus will protest on the streets. Let's move on, please. Goa Congress President resigns over poor performance in assembly polls. Goa Pradesh Congress Committee President Girish Chodankar has resigned, citing poor performance of the party in the recently held assembly polls. Chodankar took moral responsibility for the defeat. Congress owned 11 seats in the Goa Assembly elections. Let's move on, please. Chechen warlord Ramzan Kadyrov, a major Putin ally, claims to be personally fighting in Ukraine just outside Kyiv. Chechenia's leader Ramzan Kadyrov said Sunday that he is in Ukraine along with his soldiers taking part in Russia's invasion of the country. Kadyrov, a top Putin loyalist who rules Chechnya as a quasi-autonomous part of Russia, posted to Telegram saying that he and his soldiers are close to Kyiv. Let's move on, please. Bezos' Blue Origin to conduct first launch of 2022 on 23rd March, send 6 tourists to space. After successfully completing three private flights to space, Blue Origin is set to conduct the first tourist launch of 2022. The Jeff Bezos founded company will launch Saturday Night Live's Pete Davidson and five others on a brief suborbital flight to space on March 23rd on its new Shepard spacecraft. The fourth crewed flight for New Shepard will be the 20th in its history of development as it launches from Launch Site 1 in West Texas at 8:30 a.m. CDT, 7 p.m. in Indian Standard Time. Blue Origin flights give passengers a few minutes of weightlessness above the Earth's surface before the capsule parachutes and land in the West Texas desert. The company has not disclosed the ticket price for paying customers. Let's move on, please. Ukraine under attack. Kremlin doesn't rule out taking full control of major Ukraine cities. As Russia and Ukraine conflict continues to escalate, the Kremlin said on Monday that it may still opt to take control of large cities in Ukraine. New agencies have reported that the Russian military is advancing steadily towards several major urban hubs in its pro-Western neighbor. Kremlin's spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters Putin gave orders to hold back on any immediate assault on large cities because the civilian losses would be large. Let's have the next slide, please. Paytm RBI ban. CEO says RBI can't be illogical. Paytm is a listed company. Paytm CEO Vijay Shekhar Sharma has recently said that the Reserve Bank of India processes are respectable, but Paytm was now a publicly listed company. Paytm was still continuously onboarding new customers, Sharma added, reasoning that the Reserve Bank of India has not put in place a ban of that process. I'm not supposed to say what the RBI does, but I can completely say this is not true. People are interpreting this to the next level. RBI's process are well respected and understandable. Paytm is not small time bank. It is now a publicly listed company, the CEO said in an interview with Money Control. Let's move on, please. South Korea reports record deaths amid Omicron surge. South Korea had its deadliest day yet of the pandemic on Tuesday, with 293 deaths reported in the latest 24 hours as the country grapples with a record surge in coronavirus infections driven by the fast moving Omicron variant. The 1196 various patients in serious or critical conditions were also a new high. Health officials said the country's medical response remains stable following efforts to expand resources, with more than 30% of the intensive care units designated for COVID-19 treatment still available, but the strain on the hospital system is expected to increase in coming weeks, considering the time lags between infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. We anticipate the number of serious or critical cases to grow to around 2,000. We are preparing our medical response for that. Senior Health Ministry official Park Hyung said during a briefing, South Korea has reported a daily average of around 337,000 new cases in the past 7 days, including 362,283 on Tuesday, representing more than an 80-fold increase from levels seen in mid-January when Omicron emerged as the dominant strain. The country's caseload is now over 7.2 million, with 6.4 million added since February. Let's move on, please. Aam Aadmi Party enters West Bengal politics to contest 2023 Panchayat election. After achieving a tremendous victory in the 2022 Assembly elections in Punjab, Aam Aadmi Party is now ready to set foot in West Bengal politics. The AAP on Monday announced that it will be contesting the 2023 Panchayat elections in West Bengal and has already begun campaigning for the same, reported ANI. Aam Aadmi Party will contest the 2023 Panchayat elections in West Bengal. On the instructions of the party high command, its local unit has already started its campaign. AAP held a rally in Kolkata on March 13. Sanjay Basu, in charge AAP West Bengal, told ANI. The announcement comes after the Arvind Kejriwal-led party gained a sweeping win in Punjab, scoring 92 out of 117 seats. Let's move. Tata Sons chief N. Chandrasekharan appointed as chairman of Air India. Tata Sons chief N. Chandrasekharan has been appointed as chairman of Air India on March 14, reported NDTV citing the group's spokesperson. The development comes after Ilker AC declined to take up the position of the airline's CEO on March 1st. Tata Sons on February had named the former Turkish Airlines chairman as its CEO, who was supposed to over on or before April 1 this year. In a statement announcing his decision, AC said, "Since the announcement, I have been carefully following news in some sections of the Indian media attempting to color my appointment with undesirable colors." Let's move on. China's U-2 rover sends images of the dark side of the moon. China's lunar rover had sent back a new image from the dark side of the moon, showcasing its 3-year-long journey on our planet's satellite. The images were released by Our Space, a Chinese language science outreach channel affiliated with the China National Space Administration, in late February, highlighted by space.com. One of the images includes a wide panoramic view of the moon with U-2's tire marks. This image also shows Kane's Force lander in the far distance, which touched down the January 2019, which also claimed the spot of the first spacecraft to land and operate on the moon's hidden hemisphere. Let's move on. Hijab verdict historic, says Karnataka government. Muslim organizations find High Court order disappointing. The Karnataka High Court's verdict on the hijab ban has left Muslim organizations in the state disappointed. On Tuesday, a 3-judge bench of the Karnataka High Court held that the hijab headscarf was not an integral part of religious practice in Islam, as upheld a government order banning religious clothing in classrooms, while advocates for students who had petitioned the HC against the ban are preparing to appeal against the HC verdict in the Supreme Court. The Karnataka government has requested students to adhere to the order and return to classrooms. The demand for the right to wear hijab by Muslim students and counter protest against it by Hindu organizations had taken a violent turn in Karnataka in February, forcing district administrations of various districts to bring in prohibitory orders and close down schools and colleges. Let's move on, please. Thank you very much for being with us. You all are again requested to subscribe, like, and share with all your near and dear ones. Till our next video, take care of yourself and have a great moment ahead. Bye bye.